Right, okay folks, we're going to look at some more negative number work this week, and this time we're going to look more at doing little calculations with negative numbers. Now, the worksheets that I've set you 6 different worksheets, which I know sounds like quite a lot, but hopefully you'll manage to work through them quite quickly and quite well. There's 2 worksheets that I would recommend doing after this video. There's then another video that you should watch, and then it should let you do the final 4 worksheets, okay? And obviously if you're not able to access the videos, or when you're on the calls with me, I can be going over some of this as well, but this is a good place for you to start. I've copied similar worksheets. These are not the exact same as the ones you're doing, but they're very similar, and I'm going to go through them just now. Okay, so I'm going to do this first worksheet, so these first 2 screenshots, and then I'm going to stop the video, and then I'm going to start a new video and do the next one. Okay, now what it's always going to be useful when we're doing negative numbers, especially early on, guys, it's often useful for us to be working with a number line. So one of the reasons I like this worksheet, and one of the reasons we're going to use this worksheet to begin with, is because this has got this number line at the top here, okay? And it's going to help us answer all of the questions. So what we're looking at on this first worksheet is adding negative numbers. Now, the rule for this worksheet, and the rule in general, is where you have a plus and a minus sign right beside each other in a sum that's going to look really weird and look a bit strange, then what we're going to do is make sure that becomes a takeaway. So in question 1 here, we can see that you've got 8 plus minus 4. So that plus and a minus right beside each other is going to become a minus. So the sum that we're doing becomes 8 take away 4. Now we probably won't need our number line for that one. 8 take away 4 is just going to give us an answer of 4. For question 2, we've got a plus and a minus right beside each other. That's going to become a minus. So what we're going to have is we're going to have minus 2, and then that plus and the minus has become a minus, and so we're taking away 3. Now we might want to use our number line here. Remember, when we take away, we go to the left, and when we add, we go to the right. Okay, so we're starting at minus 2, which is here. We're taking away 3, so we go 1, 2, 3 along, and we get an answer of minus 5. So the answer to question 2 would be negative 5 or minus 5. Let's have a look at question 3 in the same way. We've got 7, and then we've got that plus minus. That plus minus becomes a minus, so it's 7 take away 5. And 7 take away 5, again, we probably don't need the number line for that. 7 take away 5 is going to give us 2. Looking at question 4, 2 plus minus 4. So that plus minus becomes a minus. So this becomes 2 take away 4, using the number line if we find it easier. Okay, we start at 2, we're taking away, so we're going to the left, we're going backwards. We're taking away 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We get minus 2, negative 2 as our answer. Okay, so I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to finish this first column up to question 10. I'm then going to pause my recording, and I want you to pause your video, and you can try the next column and then check the answers. Okay, but let's finish this column first of all. So next one, negative 1 add 5. Now there's not a plus and a minus right beside each other this time. Do you notice that? This is just minus 1 add 5. We don't need to change anything. We can drop the brackets if the brackets confuse us. And we're just looking at minus 1, which is here, and then add 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get to 4. So negative 1 add 5 gives us an answer of 4. Okay, but in this next one, question 6, we've got negative 3, and then we've got plus minus 4. So that becomes negative 3 take away 4. So if we go back to our number line, start at negative 3, we're taking away, so we're going to the left, we're going backwards, and we're taking away 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, we get minus 7 or negative 7. Okay, we've got 4 more. 4 plus minus 6. Well, 4, that plus minus becomes a minus. So 4 take away 6. 4 take away 4 would be 0. So you might not need the number line for all these. Some of you might be quite happy. But if we're taking away 6, 1, 2, 3, 4 takes us to 0. Take away another 2 gives us minus 2. Okay, last 3. Minus 8, add 3. Again, no plus and minus right beside each other. Okay, so we just are doing minus 8, add 3. I've just dropped the brackets to make it look a wee bit nicer. Now, we're starting at minus 8. Now, notice this time we're adding. Okay, so when we're adding, we go to the right, we're adding on 3, 1, 2, 3, and we get negative 5. Okay, so final 2, and then it's time for you to try some. Okay, you'll be sick fed up of listening to my voice. Minus 4, and then plus minus 4, that plus minus becomes a minus, remember? So minus 4 take away 4 is minus 8. So we're starting at minus 4, we're going back 4, and that's where the minus 8 came from. Okay, and then finally question 10. 7 plus minus 9. Well, that 7 stays, the plus minus becomes a minus, so it's 7 take away 9. Here's 7, if we're taking away, we're going this way. If we take away 7, that takes us to 0. You can do the jumps in between if you need to, but we're taking away 9, so take away 8, take away 9, we get an answer of negative 2. So this is where I'm going to ask you to pause the video. I want you to try the next column of questions yourself and see how you get on, okay? And if you get on great, brilliant, we can look at part B together. If not, you might want to go through my answers and check where you went wrong. Okay guys, so as if by magic, all the answers appear there. So we've got minus 4, 5, 4, minus 3, minus 10, 0, negative 2, negative 6, 2, and negative 10. Now you'll notice I sometimes use the word negative, I sometimes use the word minus. Negative is really what we should say, but often we'll talk about minus or minus numbers, and that's okay, I know what you mean. So double check what you've got with what I've got. Remember, I sometimes make a mistake, so if there's one you think I've got wrong, then you need to tell me in class and I'll have a wee look at it. And if you're happy enough, we're going to look at section B now. Okay, now section B, in all the worksheets that I'm giving you guys this week, is a little bit more complicated. It's kind of like extension work. So this work is really the top end of level 2, the start of level 3, but the section B's is really level 3. And remember, we're kind of working between level 2 and level 3 work this year. Okay, just depending on how we get on with it. So if you want to concentrate on all the section A's first, that's absolutely fine. I won't expect all of you to be able to do all the section B's, okay, and that might be something you ask me for help with in class. Now, in section B here, what we've got is we've been given a list of numbers that we've got to use, okay, and what we're going to do with these numbers is we're going to try and get the answers. We've got the answers, sorry, and we're going to try and make up the questions. Now, this is sometimes a little bit of trial and error, a little bit of thinking about it. Some of you will find this easier than others, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, so the first one we have to try and get is minus 2. Now, we're taking a number and adding on another number. So let's start with these two. What happens if we add these two numbers together? If we start at minus 5 and we add 3, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2. So as luck would have it, adding the first two numbers together gives me my first answer. And remember guys, you can use the number line at the top of your worksheet if it helps. Okay, you can use that number line at the top of your worksheet here. Okay, if it helps you with these questions too. Some of you will find that useful. Okay, next. Oh, sorry guys. Okay, next, what have we got? We've got something add something gives me 1. Now, it'd be nice if it was like 0 add 1, wouldn't it? But we don't have that. If we have a wee think about it, we're looking for two numbers where they're quite close together. So 3 and minus 2, or minus 8 and 7. Okay, minus 8 add 7, minus 8 add 7 would give me, counting up, that would give me minus 1, that doesn't help. What about 3 add minus 2, or minus 2 add 3? We can write it either way round, remember. If I've got minus 2 and I add on 3, then yeah, that would give me 1. If you think about it a different way, if you owe someone £2, and then you give them £3, they actually have £1 left, don't they? So minus 2 add 3 would be 1, and you could write it as 3 plus minus 2. Right, next, minus 6. Minus 6. How are we going to get minus 6 here, folks? Right, minus 5 and the 1. 1 plus minus 5. Nope, that's not going to work. That's going to give me minus 4. What about the... is there anything else? No. What about the 3? 3 plus minus 8. 3 plus minus 8 is 3 take away 8, which is minus 5. Nope, that's not helpful. Not coming across it easily. What about the 4 and 2? 4 and 2 look like they might give us 6, don't they, in some way, shape or form? So if I've got minus 2 and I add negative 4, that's negative 2 take away another 4, and yep, that's going to give me minus 6. So you can see that even for me, we've got to think about it a little bit, guys. It's not like these are really quick questions, and that's why this is your extension work. Okay, 3 more to go. Something and something is negative 9. Now, automatically I'm drawn to the 5 and 4, yeah? Because 5 minus 5 plus minus 4 is going to be minus 5 take away 4, which, yep, is minus 9. So looking for numbers that are giving me 9 there. Right, next I'm aiming for minus 3. Gut instinct, 3, 5 and 2, but minus 5 plus minus 2 would be minus 5 take away 2, which is minus 7. That's not helpful. What else might give me 3? What about 1 and 4? If I've got minus 4 and I add on 1, then yep, that would give me minus 3. So it might take you a couple of goes to get the right answer, and that's fine. Right, last one. We're looking for 10. 10, I'm thinking either that 3 and 7 or that minus 8 and minus 2. Now, 3 and 7 would give me positive 10 though. So let's try the minus 8 plus minus 2, which would be minus 8 take away 2. And yet that would indeed give me negative 10. Right, last couple of questions. Let's have a look at these. Find 4 different ways to get minus 7. 4 different ways to get minus 7. Now, what have we got? Looking at this, I'm thinking that minus 5 and that minus 2 are going to be useful, because minus 5 plus minus 2 is 7. But we could also write it the other way around, remember? And we're still going to get minus 7. So that's been a good place to start. And then the other 2 that I'm thinking are going to give me 7 are minus 8 and 1, or 1 plus minus 8. The other one that I wondered about was 3 and minus 4. But because 1 is a positive and 1's a negative, that would either give me minus 1 or in both cases, so that is not helping because we're looking for minus 7. Now, finally, last question, trickiest question on this sheet. Choose 3 numbers from the list to make this sum correct. So we're looking for negative 10, but using 3 numbers. Now, we've already done it using 2 numbers. Okay, minus 8 plus minus 2. So in my head, I'm thinking I might not use those numbers. Okay. So let's score them out and let's look at the other ones. How am I going to get minus 10 from what's here? If I do minus 5, maybe we shouldn't have scored those numbers out. Maybe we're going to need them. Let's just keep them. Okay, we need to find some way of getting minus 10. What about if I have minus 8 and I add 3 to begin with? If I've got minus 8 and I add 3, that gives me minus 5. So then if I add another minus 5, that's taken away 5, and that will give me negative 10. Okay guys, that should let you do the first 2 worksheets. Okay, and then from there, okay, if you watch the second video or come on another call and I'll go through it, and then we can try the last 4.